camera.
Hello everybody, it says I'm live. Welcome to the first ever of me doing a live broadcast. So if this goes tits up, it goes tits up. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to do some basic wood turning, making some Christmas tree decorations that I will leave blank, unfinished. I will sand them up to 120. Generally that's enough, and then these can be drilled, and I'll show you how I drill them, and I can show you some finished ones. We are looking at something. There's a Santa that's been decorated by the good lady. But that's the sort of thing we're going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap you onto another camera, if I can find out how to do that. How do I get to a different camera, Mark?
Go to where it says cam mic.
Yeah.
It'll drop down the box and it'll give you a camera to choose from.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hi everybody. Yes, it's me. I'm here.
Yes, my good man Mark's in the background, earworming for me. Now you can see what I'm proposing to turn, hopefully on screen now.
Yes.
Mark will keep me informed. I'll swap us over to the camera on the lathe, move things around a bit. I'll be back with you in a few seconds.
Right, but what I'll do is I'll just read through who's in the chat at the moment.
Right, well, before you do that, let me just show people the jaws that I should be using. These are the Axminster jaws. These are gripper jaws. These are the big 4-inch jaws. They also do an 80mm jaw, which I usually use. I haven't got the Axminster chuck in today. I've got another make in, but I've got the same or similar jaws in this one. So we've got gripper jaws, so it is perfectly safe. It's being held. There's a set of 3 teeth. Camera doesn't pick it up very well because I'm still working on decent cameras at a later date, but there's a row of teeth there on the outside. There's a row of teeth on the inside, so the wood is well and truly gripped. So hopefully there won't be too much noise. What does that sound like?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to plod away and leave you guys to Mark.
Right, so first in on the chat, it says John S, but he's saying hello to Colin, so Colin might have been in first. Then we've got Barry from Real Simple Things, Tommy's Workshop, Colin Izzard, Ian Leonard, Keith Wright. Going down the list. Hodgepodge, Jennifer Stroughton's in. Hi, Jennifer. Andy Heath. DJ Turning, that's Terry Bray. Hi, Terry. Robert Dolman. Barry Chitty.
Hello, Barry.
Who else have we got?
Not
Joe
out on your
Senior.
digger today, then, Barry.
Got Joe Senior.
Joe.
Karen Dolman.
Karen. Good afternoon.
Richard RJK Spinning Wood.
Hi, Richard.
Christina Michael Heffeltine.
It's the strangers from the south. Hello, Christine Michael.
And I think that's it. I think I got everyone. If I did miss you, I do apologise. Colin's back. Hello, Colin. If anybody's got a question for Keith, if you could start your comment with the word question for me so I don't miss it. That would be good.
What I normally use is the Mark 1 flaming turner paddle. Now this sanding stick has been going for in excess of 16 years since I've been doing these sort of things for the kids and the like. So it's just a bit of Velcro stuck onto a bit of ply with fabric backed paper so that the kids can actually sand or help us sand, because most of these are actually made by kids helping us. We get them to hold the end of the chisel while we do all the work, and they come away with something that they've made.
Lovely.
Perfectly safe, never had an accident, but using these sanding sticks, going only down to 120, we've had more than enough fun, and the kids are more than happy to participate. The parents are more than happy to let them in one at a time with one of us, so we're all perfectly safe.
Amy DeAngelis is in. She said she stayed up especially late to support you, Keith. Hi to everyone.
Thanks. Hi, Amy. You're a little bit quiet, Mark. With the noise I've got, I can just about hear you. But,
okay. Joe's asking, what's the wood and are you making snowmen?
What does that look like? Possibly a snowman?
Yep. What's the wood?
Not sure. Most of it is rubbish wood, and the beauty of what we're doing today is the wood starts off 4 inches long, 100mm long, 40mm square, and you can basically turn anything you like. But this is rubbishy old wood. It's good enough to be cleaned up and painted. So why use expensive wood? I've done them in oak, elm, ash, beech. You can do them in anything. If you're using exotic woods, I generally tend to sand up to 240 and just give them a coat of finish, friction polish or something like that, or even an oil. So there's the first one in barely 5 minutes. So we'll put another lump on. Again, not sure what the wood is. It's a different wood this time. It's more of a coarser wood. It's a piney grain, but I don't know whether it is a pine. Now I use the skew very much like a spindle roughing gouge, very much like a skew at times. I'm just going to use the side wing. Excuse me if I deafen somebody. Just to run this down. Straight off the skew or off the spindle, roughing gouge, just like a skew. Right, now we're going to detail this. guidance marks to start with.
Sorry, what was that?
These are just guidance marks to start
right.
with before I...
Tommy, Terry's got a question for you.
Yep,
Keith?
go on.
He says, Keith, you've been turning for a very long time. What tools do you think are the best value for money? Tough question.
Yeah, I started off with a lot of carbon steel tools. Nothing wrong with them. The biggest issue, it's not the tools, it's sharpening them and getting a decent edge on them. So, whatever you use or whatever you invest in will be good. Some will be better than others. You will buy tools that you don't want, that you think you want. The manufacturers are brilliant at selling you tools that you don't want. The other thing is, depending what you want to do, what will be primarily your way you go with turning. Do you want to do spindle turning? Are you going to be predominantly a bowl turner? Not an easy question until you've done a bit. Now, I predominantly started out as a bowl turner, so I had a lot of bowl gouges. Didn't own a skew. Well, I did, but I thought it was a scraper. The kit's a good value. You're better off, I think, personally buying individual items, because at least you can get buy the tools that you want, rather than having to buy tools that the manufacturers think you want. So again, not an easy question to answer, but always happy if you want to have a chat. You message me later and
Keith,
we can go through whatever.
Somebody's asked, is it possible that you could back the focus off a bit? Because your camera seems to be focused on the floor and not the chuck.
It's an automatic, and this is the problem I've had with it. It's a cheap camera.
Okay, if it's autofocus, no, there's not a lot
It's
we can do about it.
autofocus, and it does hunt a little bit, but it's a laptop camera, so it shouldn't be too bad. I had it way up top, but the image was so small that I wanted glasses on to see what I was doing. So I think you would have done as well.
Okay, just carry on with what you're doing.
Just carry on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Apologise if you can't see it 100% clear. Right, now I'm doing a Christmas tree and coughing at the same time. Never, if you're going to put a hook in it, work the top to a point. Because once you've got a point, you will never get the screw eye in there. I learned the hard way, and we soon learn that it's so simple to leave it flat. You don't get any problems then. Right. I put the bottom branch mark in there, and when the parting tool goes in, this is a 2mm one, I put it slightly low so that it doesn't tear up the branch. The bottom one, when I'm parting off, I'm going in at a 5-degree angle, so I'm aiming up towards the centre of the turning. put a pot on this. There we are, basically a Christmas tree. I need to sand from the top because I don't move the tool rest. But this is 120, couple of passes, that sits in there, job done. Just flatten the top off, gently part through there.
Pete from Twisted Trees is in. Hi, Pete.
Hi, Pete. So, one Christmas tree. I thought I'd do it in that pineish wood.
You've got 28 in.
Oh, well done, guys. Thank you very much. Didn't expect quite that amount. We never know quite what to expect on the tubes.
Richard RJK says, Keith, please feel free to pause for a drink if you need to, mate.
I did. I took a mouthful just now.
See? We didn't even notice.
No. All done with mirrors.
Professional. Yeah, see?
Yeah, all done with mirrors. Now I can cough and choke quite easily.
Yeah, so can I.
Yeah, the problem is the more I have to drink, the quicker I need to get out there and find a loo. Right. So we've done a Christmas tree. We've done a snowman. Let's do a chubby Santa. So, handle down.
Pete's made a comment and he's testing my ability to speak. He says, on the point, I avoid points on anything that may end up in kids' play space. Good point. Well made.
But if you're trying to get a screw eye into the top of the Christmas tree to hang it, you can't get a screw eye in a point into the point.
You need a flat. You need a flat to be able to drive drive the eye into.
Exactly. So spindle roughing gouge, handle down, just rub it up against the wood, lift the handle, and there's the cut. Looks just like snow coming off.
I don't know about you, Keith, but I see so many people using a spindle roughing gouge the wrong way, and they're scraping and not cutting.
I know. Well, you can see that's being scraped. Yep. I'm not barely holding it, and it's coming off as a flake. There's the side, using it as a skew, just letting it roll along, not showing off, but one-handed, it cuts itself. Right, we're now down to round. All these are basically 45 ground swept back, but I always rub off the very heel of all my gouges. I find that I can get in there. You don't need that lump of metal there. You just need to be able to get in tight. So we're going to do a snowman. Going back to my previous Christmas tree, there are so many makers on the tube that have put up Christmas trees. They're all different. There is no right way. There is no wrong way. All I will say is there is a safe way. We're not looking at big logs of wood. Although having said that, I've made them 6 inches tall, 3 inches square. So you don't have to make them this small. But the problem is when you make them that big, the tree will fall over. So you don't need a hanging hook on those. You just need a nice flat base with a concave base, so they will sit flat when they're put on the table as a table centre.
Barry's Wood Creation says, Keith, you're making this look so easy. The sign of a real skillful turner.
Yes and no. I'm not going to not big myself up, but basically it's practice. The more you practice, the better and easier it becomes. I know Scott's mentioned it 2 or 3 times on his lives. I tutored him from an absolute idiot, thinking that he could turn, to what he is today. Haven't got any with me, but he's starting off on about 50 blanks that I gave him, drilled, ready to make into cord pulls. I'm not doing them. You bloody are. Get on with it. Anyway, reluctantly he turns biggest part of them, and I said line them up on the workbench as you take them off. I believe, and he'll probably answer this because I'm not sure whether he's in the chat, but the first one took him half an hour. The last one that he did took him about quarter an hour, and it is down to practice, tool control, memory of muscles. So there's a Santa finished. We'll just part him off exactly the same way.
Richard's asking, how many snowmen do you think you've made?
Without being big-headed, in excess of 1,000 over the years. There's a Santa. Let me grab the 2 twins. That Santa doubles up as an elf. So one's got red, the other's green. You do them exactly how you like. There's no specifics, but these are just rubbish wood, exactly the same as what I'm using there. My wife decorates them. Most of these have been decorated with felt tip pens because we find that it doesn't bleed and it's not so bad for the parents. They don't get paint everywhere. The amount of people that said, oh, you can paint them, we've got plenty of paint. Okay, that's fine, but you try cutting into a face that is left clear.
Benjamin's got a question.
Go on, Ben.
If using a roughing gouge, like
Yes.
a skew,
Yes.
what are the danger areas, please?
The chuck. And that's about it.
Getting the tips of the gouge near the jaws.
Yeah. Let me put a. What am I doing? I'm doing one of them. Right. That'll be interesting with a knot in it. So I think we'll abandon that bit for this. So I don't know whether you can see the jaws. They've got the serrations inside. No, it's not showing up on the camera.
Yeah, we can just
see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the gripper jaws, aren't they?
Yeah. They grip round the outside, and I'm gripping it. You can see it just there, or I can. But I've never had one let go. Don't have to be excessively tight. It is tight because I don't want it flying out, and quite often we've got a kid in the cubicle with us, so we're just be careful. Right.
Are the arms pipe cleaners? Richard would like to know.
I'll show that later.
Okay.
I'll drill them and show them later. But I was going to do all the turning first, and I can reset up and show you how I finish them.
Good idea.
My spindle roughing gouge. Right. I can get right close to it. That is just about rubbing on the side of the jaws. I angle slightly to the way of cutting, particularly from the jaw. Never cut that way to the jaw. Or if you do cut that way, stop short. So you can run off the end. With these jaws, I can go in against them. I'll do it slowly, so hopefully you will see. It's more of a scraping cut just there. Once I'm on the timber, just slide it along, and you can see that's cutting by the shavings that are coming off.
Brilliant.
If I was to scrape that, that's the difference in shavings.
Get dust.
It's not shavings, it's dust. So
Colin would like to know, what lathe are you using, please?
this is a very old first edition Axminster M330. They then superseded this with the white one, which I've got in the shed. The white one, or both of these were belt driven. I bought this one for about £25–30 without a motor. I spoke to Axminster and I picked up a variable speed motor, so I've got a variable speed motor in there now that also runs on the 5-speed pulley system. So if I'm doing anything bigger, I can actually drop the speed down, and there's enough speed on this to do what I want to. I can do most things on that gear ratio, and that's on the middle pulley, but I don't know what that equates to, because I've changed the bottom and the top one for something that suited me, which is what wood turners do if you've got the access to it and you need to make something out of nothing. So carrying on, just gently face this end off. Can't easily see what I'm doing on this. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going to put a little bit of a recess on the bottom of this. Now I'm back to what you can see. That one's lost its edge. The difference a sharp chisel makes. Right, if I stop and flex my fingers, don't worry, I get cramp.
Colin Izzard's having to leave, but he says he'll catch up later.
Okay, Colin, thanks for stopping by, mate. Hope you enjoyed what you've been seeing.
Barry's Wood Creations asks, what height have you got the tool rest set to, please?
This is where I will always be against what everyone else says. Normally, lathe height, centre of the lathe is elbow. My elbow is 2 inches below centre.
Oh, I think he means the tool rest height.
But so I've set the tool rest up higher. That gives me a chance to stand up rather than roll over it So I am cutting at centre. Doesn't matter where you put the tool rest, you need to cut at centre or just above. It's all down to personal preferences. 5 wood turners will set their tool rest slightly different. You'll have a slightly different grind on your chisel. It all makes the difference. The angle on the chisel against the height of the tool rest. So I'm cutting at centre. Tool rest for me is about 3/4 of an inch below the centre of the timber. But that gives me the opportunity to stand at the lathe rather than to lay on top of it or roll over it. Hopefully that makes sense and gives you the answer that you were looking for. Give this a light sand because there's not much wood holding that to the rest of the wood at the end.
Barry says every time he blinks, there's a different piece of wood in the chuck.
I'm telling him not to go to sleep.
Colin says awesome tool control.
Thank you.
Robert Dolman's got a question.
Right, go on.
Keith, did somebody teach you to lock the tool down with your finger under the tool rest?
Not necessarily, no. Most of that is because I get cramp and it's easier for me to work that way. And the problem is, if I'm working right close to the chuck, the last place I want my digits is anywhere near the chuck. They're perfectly clear underneath there. Even if we did get a break, such a small piece of wood, that ain't going to damage my finger. You can guide it along so much easier. You're coming along the front, you're going to knuckle the chuck. That hurts. Skin and metal don't mix. So whether it's an approved method, it's an approved method that I use. I've never damaged myself on it. So you've got to try things to know whether it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, find another way.
Wendy's in from Toonpish. Hi, Wendy.
Hello, Wendy. Part-time then? Or you out on your ride?
So you're just showing off now. It took me 1 hour and 10 minutes to do a goblet last night. You've just done a miniature one in 8 minutes.
No, this is a bell in actual fact, Mark.
Oh, it's going to be a bell, is it? All right.
Yeah. I didn't leave quite enough hanging out at the bottom. I want to get this a bit thinner. So I've got a rubber mat on the floor, and I've also got decent shoes on so that if anything does drop on your foot, it doesn't stab it in. One bell, not quite so good as I'd like. I think there will be another one coming up straight away. See if we can make a proper bell.
Robert says he only asked because he was taught that by a pro production turner.
Okay. If anyone showed me, it was probably Les Thorne. But I'm saying probably because I can't remember. Les Thorne is the only person that I've had anything professional from, and that was a day. So the rest is self-taught, watching at club, practicing, and having fun. It's a piece of wood at the end of the day. It's not as if it's a gold bar and you can't afford to do anything with it. Turn it over, run it up against the side of the chuck, go in, turn it over. I'm not too worried about that chuck end because that will be coming down later on. Right, let's see if we can do a decent bell this time.
Robert Dolman says he was taught by Ray Jones.
Okay. I'm not going massively deep into the bottom. Just to radius the clanger off so it looks like it's a clanger. You should inadvertently turn it over. Now always turn the lathe off when you move the tool rest. Hog some off now. And that's still cutting, not scraping. It's just
Ian
got
in the
rid
shed's
of
in. Hi, Ian.
That's just got rid of a massive lot that I don't need. What I was told, and I try and stick with it, you don't need to take the tool off, put it down, take the tool off, put it down, take the tool off, put it down. I can work there and swing it round on the tool rest. All I'm doing is turning it on the back handle. My front hand, my left hand, is just not anchoring it down, but holding it there, stopping it bouncing. Reasonably delicate cut, coming uphill, which you shouldn't really, but it's such a small piece of wood that it's not going to matter much. Don't like the outside shape of that. See if I can get a better shape. Yeah, that's only being held on by about 4 mil. I'm not surprised I'm getting a little bit of chatter. See what that looks like. And so just 120 grit. I'm letting the paper mould itself to the shape. as best I can. I'm not putting the finger in there and then sanding it or over sanding it. You can soon sand a flat if you're not careful. A better, proper looking bell this time.
That's wicked.
About 6mm at the top, about a 4mm clanger. I'm only just below the surface. I haven't finished the surface in there very well. Doesn't matter. Get rid of that pip later on. A bell. How are we doing on time? 41 minutes in.
Yep.
What haven't I done? Let's do another Christmas tree because they're always fun. All I'm doing is looking. I've got a bit of resin going through there. This looks like it's a piece of pine. It's a piece of pine. So I'll put the resin at the bottom. No, I won't. I'll put the resin at the top. It's a Christmas tree, so it's going to be tapered.
Joe Senior saying, could you do an angel?
Yeah, I'll do this one first. I'll put a different bit of wood in for angel. I'll keep it to a plainer piece. Angels is the easiest thing to do. Definitely pine. But I've never smelt oak like pine, so right. Turn the roughing gouge on its side. Just push through. You can see where it's cutting. It's at the bottom of the wing. Perfectly safe cut. Saves me swapping over to a skew. I can get that pretty well through straight off of the roughing gouge so that when I attack it with the spindle gouge, and all my spindle gouges, bowl gouges are ground the same, 45 degrees. Lightly mark it. No point in stopping the lathe, picking up a pencil, measuring it. Eyeball is pretty good. I'm going in on the bottom of the left wing. I'm putting the nose of the chisel in. And I'm just easing it in.
Steve from SK Grass has just joined. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve. So just nice, easy push in. It's a tree, so they're not quite uniform. Close enough. Small flat on the top, about 2mm. I don't know whether you guys can see this. There's a shine on the wood there where the bevel's rubbing it.
Keith Wright is in as well. Hi, Keith.
So we say again, Mark.
Keith Wright is in.
Hi, Keith. Thanks for popping over and seeing what the other side of wood turning is happening about. Hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. As you can see, I've kept clear of that little chamfer on there. I'm keeping top side of it. Going down to about 5mm. Up against the chuck, doesn't matter. 5-degree taper up to the centre. Proper tool control, you can take that down just like that. Just give it a lick and a promise. Doesn't need any more than that. That 2mm parting tool takes 2 bits of paper or a piece of paper folded in half, wiggle it about, job done.
Barry's got a question. Sorry to ask again, but what size is the timber before you start turning?
4" by about 40. It's this size because that fits in this chuck really well, and through keeping it to that size, I'm not wasting a lot, and they're not too heavy that they would hang on a Christmas tree. If you've got anything bigger, personally, it looks out of proportion with the tree. That's about the biggest, and that is that size. That looks nice on the tree. If you go anything bigger, it looks like you're trying to fill the tree with bricks and all the branches that gradually bow to the ground. So there's 2 things to consider. Cheapness. I'm not saying I'm a cheapskate, but all this wood was basically free. And the weight of the finished article. If you think back to your glass baubles that you used to have when you were kids, most of them now are plastic because we're not allowed to use glass because it might be dangerous and you might cut ourselves. We're not worried about us might have cut ourselves.
Keith Wright says, it's very funny actually, 4" by 40mm. It's an age thing.
Yeah. You can have it 110 by 1.25" if you like. Doesn't worry me. Most tape measures have got imperial one side and metric the other. So why can't I mix it up?
It's like saying I had to go 40 miles and I did it at 30 kilometers an hour.
So just for Joe, an angel of the north.
Hodgepodge asks, where do you get the threaded eyelets that screw to the end? Please.
I think I might have to kill you if I tell you that. Imported from China.
eBay
through
is your
eBay.
friend.
Yeah, through eBay.
Probably just search brass eyelets.
These aren't. These are just tinned, but I do buy 10,000 at a time. And I'm down to the last 2,000, I think now. There you go, Joe. Especially for you. How's the sofa coming along anyway? Have you made progression in getting one yet? How's the old git? Has he got his hand in his pocket for anything other than a motorbike? Doesn't look much as it is.
Joe says, "Oh, thank you. Not a chance." Oh.
Right. Has anyone got a request for anything else? Because it's going to take me probably 10 minutes at the end of this to put everything together and show you how it's drilled and bits and pieces and chat. Or do you want to see something else? It's open to you guys on the stream now. What do you want to see? Because I can't see.
So I'll just. Nobody's suggested anything yet. Well, Barry's saying a sofa for Joe. Bit difficult.
Yeah, I'm
on
only using small logs, Baz. Yeah, you can't get much out of 4 inches. Or perhaps you can, but
Scott's in the chat. Hi, Scott. He says,
oh, Dad.
Your little pen collection.
Yeah. Yeah, that's behind me. You'll see that later on.
Oh, somebody did suggest earlier a donkey. Don't know if you can do a donkey.
Yeah, the donkey, someone left the bloody gate open. It's got out.
Scott's backstage, Keith.
He thought he was.
Hello,
Come on,
Scott.
son.
Turn your mic on.
His power pack's playing up.
Ian Leonard saying, finishing, please.
Right.
Oh, Hodgepodge says 3 wise men and a camel.
What about that? Does that work?
That sounds better. I can hear you now. Right.
Your dongle bit might help. I'm going back to work. Whoop, whoop.
Good man. Very pleased for you.
Well, happy. Longest meeting I've ever been in, but...
Right. Now, I've just made... Let's turn the extractor off. I don't know whether you guys realise, but I was running on extractor all the time. Take this off.
What we made then, Dad?
You'll see in a second. I'm just going to sand all the bums off and go through the finishing process that I do. Let's take it off for a second. The easiest way I've found to finish this lot off is to just gently put them on there. I'm not looking at a pristine 400 grit finish. I'm not going to use Yorkie grit on the bottom. I'm just going to get... I'll change camera, haven't I?
I'll tell you what, Scott.
Yes, mate.
Wayne's got some competition for speed.
Oh, no.
I've had to slow him down.
It's just a normal flat pad. And
you should see when we both get knocking these out, Mark.
100 an hour.
How many did we knock out when we had that schooling to the workshop?
100 plus, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't take long because we're not decorating them. We had someone else in. One of the teachers was drilling the holes, which I'm just about to do. It's easiest for me to do this as a 3-part, so that I don't keep taking the chuck off, putting the chuck on, taking the chuck off, putting the chuck on. There's nothing more laborious than that. That's why when I make wooden pens, I'll do 50 at a time. And I can get a process going. Right, they're all...
You have to take that nail plank out from under Sue's side of the bed, though, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, right, that's all finished.
So how is everyone in the chat today?
Oh, plenty of questions been fired at me, so hopefully
cool.
Everyone's okay.
Everybody's been enthralled, hypnotised by his tool control and speed.
Right, I'm over to a 3mm drill bit. Now I always, yeah, you can see me. It's good. So I got to think which camera I'm on. I always look for the grain to see that if I can see a face. And if you can, put a nose in. If you don't feel happy doing it this way, put it on there and drill it that way. We've had so many people say, oh, it's not safe doing that. If it wasn't safe, I wouldn't do it. Joe's angel. So, centre back.
Joe wants an angel.
Yeah. She said,
Is that because she's not married to one?
No, she said Glyn's a bit of a fairy. Right. Centre back for the halo. Centre back and wiggle it about a bit for the set of wings. Drill these and then hold it up for you. So you've got three holes. Not uniform, but hey ho, it's Christmas. Snowman. Now we can see there is a distinct set of rings there, which to me looks like a face. Bloody camera's back to front. So I'll drill the centre of that. Nose. Remember, it's a snowman, so it doesn't have to be uniform. 2 Christmas trees, nothing. 2 Christmas trees, nothing. 2 bells, nothing. Right, finish with the drill.
Pete,
Oh, look, he's
Pete
even
just
put
said,
the clapper in and all.
Oh yeah, proper job.
Pete just said, Mark, I'm totally blaming you. I just did 2 times captive rings, and I wasn't even getting paid to do them either.
Now, who asked about eyelets? That, unless it falls off, is the size that I'm using. 1/2 inch from top to bottom, 3mm hole. Cramp. So,
Shall I put a link to them in the chat?
You won't find them, I don't suppose.
I use the same ones as you, so they're
Did
going to
you?
be
Okay.
they'll be in my purchase history.
Right. So, as I can't grip things tight, a pair of pliers, screw in the top, job's a good one, off for the kids. Simple as that. And this is why I do mine, or we do ours batch, so that we don't have to keep groping in the pot to find a massive screw eye.
When did I last order some?
I thought you got them off of me.
No, I've been buying them off eBay.
All right. And say
Jennifer
goodbye.
Stoughton's having to go. She says goodbye. Thanks for a great demo.
Thank you, Jenny. Nice to have you in. Hopefully you'll come back again. Hopefully this won't be my last one.
First and last.
Well, no, I'll keep going. I can fill in the gaps.
Pipe cleaners.
Now, that one's not going to hold so well.
Douglas Mannum's in. Hi, Douglas.
One
Hi,
in the end of a
Douglas.
bell. So, put all these in just before we go on to the next bit. Don't make a hole. They're so small that they will go straight in. And those 2 have gone straight in the top of the Christmas trees without splitting them. So we go for Santa's hat. Again, that's a 4mm ball on the top there. Straight into the top, being that they're so short and thin, a bit like me.
Don't make me laugh.
Poor bugger's just wet himself now.
Richard RJK Spinningwood says, Does Keith like Jaffa cakes too?
Not particularly. A bit sweet. I'd rather go for the cheesy biscuits. I've got more of a savoury taste than a sweet taste.
He makes good chili.
No, Sue does.
His missus
Yeah.
makes good chili.
We get rid of a good chili, don't we, between us?
Oh yeah, a few beers as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
There we go. That's them.
So they're all eyed up now. So before I knock this over and have to pick up 1,000 hooks, we can.
There we go. There's a link to the eyes if anyone's interested.
So I've just been out in the garden and found a couple of deadish bits of plant. So we'll have those in the.
Could you go
Snowman?
forward a bit towards the headstock so we can see your hands? That's better.
Yeah, so there's a pair of twigs in
They're
there.
not beautifuls like Wayne's.
No. That one has only done one of them. I'll find a.
Dale's in. Hi, Dale.
Dale's in.
Hello,
Hi,
Dale.
Dale.
Welcome to the madhouse, mate.
He's like me, coming in at last minute.
That's all right. You've come in. That's fine with me. Now, if anyone is going to use pipe cleaners for arms, just remember that it's wrapped around wire. So either double it over and put both into the same hole. It's going to be a bit of a struggle on this one. Or fold the end over. Just nip the end over so that it's got a safe end. It won't damage a kid's face if they run into it. Let's find another one the same. Bend the end over. I always put a double super glue in there, just whack them in, and that's that bit. What have I got?
Jennifer's back. She's on her own phone this time.
Ah, I thought I'd got, but I haven't.
Have you put that link in, Scott?
Yes, I've put that link in, and I'm just putting the link in to where I get the pipe cleaners from. The dirt cheap, silly money, really good quality pipe cleaners.
It hasn't come through, but
No, so pipe cleaner.
No, look, because I haven't got a spanner.
Fold in half, and I don't know how to do it. So, if anyone's that interested, message me afterwards. One nose. Put a nose in the other one. Now this is what the kids will be doing, not you adults, but it is quite good fun. So there's a carrot nose, there's the nose, halo, and right for the angel. Full length 300mm 12-inch pipe cleaner, fold in half, tight, squeeze it tight, middle hole at the back, at the top, one end in, fold one end into one hole, t'other end in to t'other hole.
that's wicked. That's so clever.
I'm not saying anything. Over the years, we've developed these. No, over the years, we've developed these. And like I say, we've been doing them for a good few many years now. So and to finish it off, a bit of bling. So wrap it around a pencil once, put a 90-degree bend in it. You have one remaining hole.
Mark, you should have a spanner.
One halo, one angel. So all you've got to do is draw all the faces on and finish them all up. So if there's anyone not sure of how they finish,
I do.
Right, there is the link for the pipe cleaners.
there's a smiley angel and a blank angel, the one I've done today. So that's how they transform. You can decorate them, paint them up if you want to. Christmas tree. Now you can get really silly with the Christmas trees. You can bling them up as much as you like.
And there's the link for the eyes.
So from a really plain one to some blinged up ones, there you go. The bell, well, that is really up to you. I'll let Sue loose with this one, so it's got bling on it, but and it's a slightly bigger one, but it's all relative to size, diameter against length. So she's just got glitter glue on there over top of yellow with a brown handle. You can do what you like. All the kids can do what they like. So,
It's beauty being able to make yourself a moderator, isn't it?
yeah. So the Santa or the elf, because they're both the same body, you can just change the colour of the arms to green for an elf or red for Santa or twigs, whatever. The opportunities are endless.
We've seen some funky decorations, haven't we?
Yeah, the only one I would say don't. We had one little guy come in and he wanted to do a snowman. He was adamant that his snowman was yellow. Think about it. So
Yep.
there's
Yellow
your snowman.
Not good.
No, yellow snow, not good. And I said to his dad, I said, are you going to say anything or do you want me to? No, he said he's easily offended. So he said, I'll say something to him. So, piece of wool, bit of wool on there. Got to put it down because this is where you want 3 hands or someone else to tie it.
See you later, Dale.
Cheers, Dale. Thanks for stopping by.
Cheers, Dale.
One scarf. I'm done.
Fantastic.
Cool.
So,
That was a really good first live, Keith. Well done.
thank you very much. Oh, look, it's that ugly git now.
Oh.
Look at that, pen blanks in the background.
I know, look at them.
One or two.
That's only some of them, though.
1 or 2. So, has anyone got any questions? Because I can't easily see the chat, I don't think. Oh, I can now.
Should be able to.
Yeah, I can see it now. It's all right. It took it out.
Rich Jar JK Spinningwood, brilliant demo, Keith. You have given us some great ideas. Brilliant live, Keith. Brilliant, Keith. Loads of clappy hands.
Good.
Keith
Thanks, Amy.
having the clap. Ian Leonard. Keith, excellent. Thank you. Andy Heath, thanks, Keith.
Great demo from Joe.
Look at that.
So at the end of the day, you're using not even firewood at 4 inches long, and you're getting turning practice in. You don't need 6, 8, 9-inch diameter bowl blanks to practice on. You practice on something of this size that is going to give kids and some adults fun as well, you'll get much more pleasure and you'll find the learning process that much easier.
That's what you did with me, wasn't it?
Yep. You had 50 cord pulls, if I remember right.
I did.
Yeah.
Ben Gammon says, thanks for the demo, Keith. He's off to make some yellow snowmen.
Right.
Ben, if you want a blue light pencil, well, remember, send me your address by PM and I will get them. I'm colouring pencils this afternoon.
There you go. That's my cord pulls. And Scott does basically the same now, because we've found that is the style that people like, because the hand fits the article and it makes it fit for purpose. So many cord pulls that I've seen on craft fairs, or we've seen on craft fairs, we've commented on and said, oh, that's a load of rubbish. You're going to spend all day cleaning it. Whereas that, quick wipe over if you need to, nice bit of wood, you show the wood off, you don't show the beads and coves and everything else. So keep it simple. If you can get tool control and end up with something sanded up, camera's round back to front, so you'll have to excuse me, sanded up and a shine like that, there's £3.50. If you can sell it.
We sell loads.
Quite honestly, normally we sell 1,000 plus a year. This year I think I'm down to about barely 100, but haven't been out.
No. Can you put me and Mark back on screen?
Oh, I don't know.
I better put my clothes back on.
Right, if you go along, there's a box that's got little squares rather than these elongated ones.
Third
This
one
mate,
along.
that's better. I'm going to hijack your live. Jennifer, they come blue. I have to stain them, but that is a blue light pencil. It goes back to when a blue pencil got stuck at Dale's. I got the blame for it. So it's a blue light Turner's effing blue pencil. If you want one, PM me.
The only thing is, Jenny, it doesn't tell you, but there's no lead in them.
Yeah, they is. They weren't cheap. I thought I bought blue ones. That's why I have to stain them myself.
Yeah.
Mine's glued permanently to the monitor in my workshop, so it doesn't
Have
go
you got
anywhere
one
near the
yet, Dad?
dusting.
No, I've got yellow ones, so they don't get lost, and no one nicks them then, because they're just standard yellow ones.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Oh, Barry
looks
Chitty,
like-
yeah, he had a box full of cord pulls as well.
That's what I did with Elaine as well when I started.
Yeah.
That's what you do to all your students.
Everyone's had positive comments, Keith. Well done, mate.
Well, I'm pleased they're positive, but at the end of the day, the negative ones I couldn't give a toss about, to be honest. It's your thoughts, your criticism. I can't tell you to put a positive comment in there. If you didn't think it was worth it, you would put in what you were doing. It's the same as if you do an online evaluation of something and it turns out as rubbish, you'd say it was rubbish. Cheers, Andy. Thanks for dropping by, mate. Hopefully see you again. Don't forget, guys, I'm being invaded. I've got the KY for Thursday evening. Rich is coming over. He tells me it's painless, but I'm yet to believe him.
Don't know. We're waiting.
Yeah.
We're waiting.
It won't hurt much.
No. I might even have to tidy a bit more of the workshop up. Good job you can't see it. I can get from one end to the other now. Yeah.
It was pretty clean the other day when I popped over.
Yeah, it's even cleaner now.
Hey, look at that.
A bit. But it's a working workshop. It always has been. It has been for the past 15, 20 years. So I come in here, do a job, go in and go to bed. Or used to come in from work, didn't go indoors, had a crappy day on the tools, come in here, a couple of bits of wood in there, probably a cord pull, dibber, anything like that. Not something nice and simple that didn't need any thought. Just bang it out. For you that are going in through and doing highly technical stuff as a beginner, you're putting yourself off from the start. Get the tool control, get the confidence. I mean, I've been standing up in our Amberley workshop since about 98, 99. 99 I joined Amberley Museum as a volunteer. I've been down there not every Sunday, but at least once a month on a Sunday, standing up behind the polewood, behind the lathe, demonstrating to the public that come in, answering stupid questions like, is that wood? Because you get them all, just because you're a wood turner, and it looks like it might be wood. Yeah, I basically only turn wood. I don't do a lot of acrylics, polyesters. The smell gets to me, the same as I can't turn walnut or olive. I turned a small olive pot the other week, and I think I spent 5-6 days coughing and choking and feeling really crap afterwards. So Scott gets all my bits of walnut and olive now because he can turn them. It's just moving things around. But hopefully you've enjoyed it.
Yep.
Thanks, Barry, Mr. Chitty. He's going to get his Xmas decorations done now.
I've got to go down. I've got to go downstairs. I've got 20 spinning tops I've got to make.
Oh,
So
you can do one in a minute.
Keep them simple.
Yeah, one a minute. You can turn one before the previous one stops spinning.
You might be able to.
Yeah, we used to.
No.
Yeah, all done with just do it with a spindle gouge. Roughing gouge to rough it down, spindle gouge.
Yep.
Nice and simple.
Right, I am going to have to shoot. I've got to ring hell.
Good.
I shall catch you all later.
Fantastic news, Scott.
Yeah, good job that you're going back to work. Getting out of their bloody hair. And Joe's.
Yeah, I think I've started to grind. But no, it's good news. It's what I want.
Good,
I've just got to ring and chase this therapy, but I said I can go back before that.
Yeah.
I'm missing my overtime and my bonuses and all that sort of stuff.
Well, you're missing mates that you're learning to live with, or you've learned to live with, and you got each other's backs. I mean, we're all mates on here, but we're a different sort of mates.
Yeah,
well,
you
I
haven't
like
got
to think we are.
you ain't got warped sense of humour.
Yeah.
I mean, really warped.
Yeah.
Are you going to be back again next week, Keith?
I'm hoping to.
Good.
I'm hoping to. Not sure quite what I'm going to do next week. It might be a little bit more technical, but you know, I'm open to everything. I don't want, like I've said just now, I'm not going to do massive Wayne bowls. I can.
What's your stock of dolphin armpit hair like?
I'm running low on it.
You could always do one, couldn't you?
Yeah, I'm running a bit low on that. I was actually thinking that might be.
Well, you know the Harry Potter ones have unicorn hair or something in.
Yeah.
We put dolphin armpit hair in ours.
It's cheaper.
Oh, okay.
It's one I made earlier that give me the opportunity to do it again. Again, I can do that on the little lathe here. And if you're saying that the dust extractor wasn't noisy, didn't pick up, good.
Didn't hear it.
Good. It was on all the time. The lathe's a bit noisy, but it is old lathe.
But it wasn't noisy to the point that it put people off.
No,
nobody mentioned it. So
how many did I have in then? Any idea, Mark?
You were close to 30 at one point.
Oh, well, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I will. I
think.
Once I've made this phone call, Dad, I will flip into your YouTube and I'll have a look at your thumbs and stuff and let you know.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So all I've got
you
to do now
Is hit
is
the button.
end broadcast, isn't it?
Yeah, hit the button.
He'll ask you twice.
So thanks everyone for stopping by. Hopefully some of you can get in on Thursday night at 8 o'clock.
Yep, just before me.
And then Scott's on about 8:30, just after me. So I'll possibly see you all again next week in broadcast. So hopefully it's going to go black.